Welcome Exofighters, it's Haz here, and it is time for another guide in our Exosuit series. There's still quite a lot to go through, but as per popular request, today it is time for another support characters review, and it is Nimbus. A quick reminder that I will be making a guide for every single Exosuit, so if you like these videos, make sure to subscribe to stay tuned. For this video, just like before, we won't go through the very basics, but the most important characteristics you should know about Nimbus, their Exosuit specific modules, what they do, and of course, a build I like to use and recommend to others as well. Ready? Let's go! Nimbus is a special support character, as while all support exosuits can deal both damage or heal allies, Nimbus can specifically choose which aspect they want to focus on, and they can also shift this focus during the game on a whim, thanks to the Mode Switch primary ability that switches their Mars and Apollo dual gun between Rend or Mend mode. Mode Switch is also a really handy ability, as if your magazine runs empty, you can simply use Mode Switch and it will refill your magazine while also swapping your firing mode. But there's an additional hidden, extremely important mechanic to Mode Switch that barely anyone actually knows currently, and that is that it reloads your guns in fact with enhanced ammunition, and these enhanced bullets are increasing your damage or your healing output by an incredible 40%, so a pretty massive boost. Next to Mode Switch, another very handy tech to know with Nimbus is that their movement ability Holo Warp that sends out a holo image can revive a teammate automatically if you aim it towards them, and you can even see them initiating the recall action by themselves. Very handy during hectic times, and this alone makes Nimbus the best support when it comes to revival. As for their modules, let's take a look. We're going to be comparing them section by section, and I will share my thoughts along the way. First, it is Critical Shot versus Speed Shot. Both are very powerful options, fill somewhat the same niche, except they are on the opposite side of the same spectrum. One is for healing, and the other one is for being more offensive Nimbus. Critical Shot by level 5 will vastly increase your critical hit damage, which is a 33% damage boost to your weak spot damage like hitting heads. It is a very powerful offensive module, definitely worth taking, but to fully make use of it, obviously, it requires very good aiming, otherwise it could be a waste. It's much easier to land headshots in PvP, so I think it's an easy choice there, but once you practice dinosaur weak spots, Nimbus can also be a very good damaging support too. Speed Shot on the other hand is a full-out healing module that increases your shots healing by another 30% and will now allow your shots to go through allies, which means you can heal multiple targets if they are in line with each other and you hit them. But possibly the best part of this module is the massive increase in your healing shot speed, allowing for even more critical healing when needed, but at the cost of removing the homing ability of your healing shots, so you will have to aim more precisely here. Both are good options really, but require better aiming. This depends entirely on how you want to play Nimbus. I had great success using both of them. Our second choice of modules is between Empt Spread and Rapid Switch. One is modifying your spread shot ability and giving it a unique feature, and Rapid Switch is for further increasing your weapon swap speed with Mode Switch and also reduce the ability's cooldown, giving you additional versatility. Empt Spread is a 30% increase in your healing and damage while using the ability, which is pretty nice. It's around 100 damage boost using the ability, but the important part of this module is that it will act exactly like a Mode Switch and will immediately refill your magazine to full, and with the same enhanced bullets that deal 40% more damage or healing. So this is a very powerful reload utility, while also giving you on-demand burst and then sustained damage or healing, depending on what you need. Rapid Switch on the other hand modifies your Mode Switch ability to be about 30% faster, and additionally you basically have zero cooldown on your ability now, as the moment the animation ends you can Mode Switch straight away, giving you complete control over Rend and Mend mode, and I would say this is definitely a mainly PvP module where you really need to be in control all the time for unexpected situations. But I would declare Empt Spread as a personal favorite here. I think in general it's much more useful and more impactful module to have. Lastly, our third modules are Holo Bulk and Quick Holo, both of them enhancing your Holo Warp ability. Holo Bulk increases the health of your holo projection by a whole 400 health, which I think has 500 health by default, so this makes it 900 health overall. I don't play PvP much, as I always say, but I would most certainly say this is a mainly PvP module, as I never had trouble losing my holo projections in PvE, even during boss fights. But in PvP, having a 900 health projection revive a teammate is probably what this is all about, so I think it's a very useful module to pull back friendly exosuits. The other option on the other hand is Quick Hollow, which I tend to use instead, as it reduces the cooldown of your Hollow Warp by 7 seconds from 16. It gives you a great mobility tool for PvE when you need to get away a lot from, let's say, a Dominator or something chasing you. But it also makes Nimbus the ultimate revive support exosuit, as you'll be able to send your Hollow Warp left and right, reviving other exosuits when they need it. And as I said, I never had trouble with my Hollow dying, so for PvE, I would say this is the better choice. Now that once again we know all our modules and abilities and what they do, let's talk about builds. My main PvE build is using Critical Shot, M-Spread, and Quick Hollow. I like to play Nimbus as an offensive support character, so I mainly stay in Ren mode and spam M-Spread to help dishing out damage and use all the enhanced ammunitions to hit weak spots, with occasionally using M-Spread in healing mode. And I have Quick Hollow as both a mobility and revival tool just in case. But if you trust your team, you can always take something else here. I would recommend the Rig Loading module, especially as I always use the Aid Rig as Nimbus as my main source of healing that allows me to stay in Rend mode and dish out a very serious amounts of damage if I hit weak spots that rivals even some Assault exosuits. Alternatively, if you want a bit more passive and easier Nimbus build, you can also swap Critical Shot for High Soul Compression module for the faster overdrive charge, and Quick Hollow for Rig Loading module that gives you even more use for your rig and will make this a pretty comfy build to use. For PvP, the build I like to use is Speed Shot, Rapid Switch, and Hollow Bulk. Speed Shot for the increased on-demand healing when I need it, combined with Mode Switch and Rapid Switch allows me to stay in control when I want to deal damage or heal. Plus, it will always boost my healing shots this way and give a combined healing bonus next to Speed Shot for very powerful targeted healing shots. Finally, Hollow Bulk is there to ensure that your sent out projectiles will revive someone, or at least make it really hard for the enemy to ignore them. So that is our Nimbus guide for Exoprimal, everyone. Have to say, this was so far the most fun exosuit to review and go through. Nimbus is just a really versatile and fast-paced exosuit. I almost wish there was an Assault one like this with multiple damage types. She's just incredible to play and have so many options for different playstyles. If you have any questions about what was said here, make sure to leave a comment, but also leave your tips like usual if you think I missed something or made a mistake, so we can learn from each other. But I'm also interested in which exosuit would you like me to cover next, so also leave that below as it greatly helps. As I mentioned at the start, I will be making a guide for all the exosuits, so stay tuned for them, but I would like to say thank you for all the incredible support on my Exoprimal content. It is very much appreciated, and if you have any parts of the game you would like me to cover more, do not hesitate to ask. Thank you for watching, Exo Fighters. That is a wrap for this episode. It's back to grinding for me, so take care all of you, and I'll see you the next time. Bye bye.